Well, hello there guys. Today we're going to be drawing a quick, simple, easy picture of Harley Quinn from the upcoming Suicide Squad film. Now, to make it as quick as possible, we're going to focus just on the head and go and start everybody by drawing a nice, great big, generous circle right in the middle of your piece of paper. Follow along at home. We're going to use some very basic shapes to get this going, and then hopefully it'll only take a tiny amount of time. The last few episodes I noticed started to get really long. Now, we've got this circle in. This is the main section of Harley Quinn's face, and I'm going to put it at an angle. So instead of a center line right down the middle, I'm going to go off to the side, and this is going to be based off of a more of a Disney almost anime Harley Quinn style, more than a comic book style. So what I've done here is I've got the center line down. I've gone about 1/3 the height of this circle and gone 1/3 further down, so that overall the circle is 3/4 now, and this further quarter is the bottom part of the face. And then come down in from the sides just below the circle line, and then start to bring these lines in to make the chin. Now this whole slightly Disney, slightly anime, almost a bit like Frozen, is going to have nice large characterful eyes, but it seemed like a really nice way to portray the film version of Harley Quinn. Now what we're going to do is inside this circle is just mark off halfway. Lovely. And then now outside the circle, we're just going to help ourselves out with some guidelines. Now because I've got everything at this angle, I'm going to follow this angle across. So draw yourself a line just above the circle, kind of a box, and the whole width of this circle, you can come out just under that distance again, around about here, and then same on this side. So we're going to go off the page a little bit, around about here. And the reason why we're going to do that is because I'm going to probably leave myself a bit of a gap. So let's say this halfway point here will be the top of where we draw an ear, and that ear will come just before the jawline here. So we'll come down into this shape. So just pop yourself a shape there. Maybe a slightly thinner or flatter one, because we'll have a slight bit of angle on the face here. And then now I'm going to put a line down around about the outside edge of the ear and just create this box shape here. And the reason why we've got that is that will help me mark out where I'm going to have the bangs that come out on either side, where the hair's all bunched and tied up. On this side, I'm going to let it be a little bit closer, again because of the angle. Now, when you're drawing a flowing natural shape, like hair, sometimes it's very difficult to get things even. So these two boxes will help me roughly map out where we're going to put all of that. It's going to be a big help. Now, if I go back, I'm going to bring the neck more straight down. So I've got a line that comes straight down from the middle of the circle, almost. And then let's just bring the line in here, about halfway down this arc, and then just past the chin on the right-hand side as well. Lovely bit of neck. I'm going to turn that into a point to help me guide the shape. And then if I go above this neckline, I'm going to go out and let some shoulders drop off like this. And then they'll just drop right off the page, like so. So is that nice and clear on the camera phone? Good, clear enough. Excellent. So with a Harley Quinn character, we're going to put our eyes inside of this zone that we've made here and here. And I'm going to do that by coming ever in so slightly from the sides, about here and here. And then I'm just going to start to almost imagine that I've got a great big circle, something like that. And although we're not going to be drawing these full circles in, it really is going to help us kind of map out parts of the eye. So halfway up, right along here, I'm just going to draw like a bolt, almost like an almond shape. So I'm going to go up and round, a big curving arc, going from one point in the circle to the other. This is going to be the top of the eye. And you'll notice that the point here on the outside is much higher up than the point on the inside. That's much lower down. And then I'm going to draw another big curve that comes round like this. And you'll notice that this is mostly flat on the inside, and then comes up on the outside edge. And then we'll do the same around about here. I'm going to keep this eye, if I have everything level along here. I'm going to come up like this, around, and then down and around like this. Excellent. And that's where I'm going to pop the eyes in. So then I'm just going to put a circle, a nice big one for this character, right in around about here. Another circle, nice and big, right in around about here. That's how we're going to map out the eye shapes. And then we know that we can start to put in some other features as well. Now I think I'm going to have the nose around about where the circle line just cuts off here. So for that, for the moment, I'm going to just put a very small, shallow V like this. And I know that it's not going to surpass either of these lines where the inside of the eye comes in. So that's how you can help map it out. I'm not going to draw the full V in. I'm actually just going to use the outside edges to show some nostrils. That's all it's going to be for a cute character. And then if we go back to these ears, I'm just going to put a little bump on the inside for the earlobe. I'm going to create a line that comes up and around the outside edge for part of the ear, and then it starts to curve in, so it goes just below the earlobe again. And then we can just pop another line in there. Or I should say this is the what's this called? The bit that you get pierced sometimes. It's really weird. The earlobe's down here, and that little nubbin bit that sticks out. This is obviously not a highly technological draw. And then another curve in there. On this here, we get to just very shallowly put in that there's a line up here and one down there on the lobe. Just follow those shapes. Excellent. Now, if we go about halfway up between the middle of the circle and the top, we're going to bring a hairline that just curves gently down to this point here and here. It's got a parting in the middle, and then we're just going to, around about this point maybe, and this point, imagine there's loads of lines. Now the hair's not flat against the sculpt, it bulges out. So we're going to bulge out and follow the same shape of the head, around about like so. And again on this side, bulge out, follow that shape, around about like so. And then we can just stick in a bunch here. So just a little bit of a cylinder shape that's going to be full of lines. There'll be a similar one on the opposite side of the head, around about here. And then now we can map in the hair. Now that we've got these rectangles to put the hair in, you can just start to make up various shapes that sprout out. And a good way to do the hair is just start with lines. So I'm going to have ones that kind of go up and then down and then around, and kind of creates almost like a bit of an S shape. And then I'm just going to thickly map that back out and back up. I'm not using perfectly smooth lines. Sometimes they're a bit jagged. Then again, we'll just have another kind of S come out around about here, really thick. And these shapes, just by drawing these in like this, they start to just create all the zones that are actually going to be the hair when we finish it off. So around like that, another line is going to bunch up this way a bit before it comes in. And again, it's just going to curve off into some curls right at the bottom, like this. Lots of little curls will come off. Smaller ones will stick out around about here. And then on this side again, the hair's doing a very similar thing. It's all coming around. All these lines of different shapes. Yours doesn't have to be perfectly like this at all. When it comes to the hair, you've got loads of leeway. But this is roughly how we understand the shapes and how it falls. I'm just doing these S-themed shapes. Sometimes they're long and thin. Sometimes they're short and fat. And then the real challenge is to do something similar on the other side. So I'm just going to again use this box as a guideline, but this hair is going to be falling right down around about here. It's going to be much more closer to the face. So I have the inside edges of some S's and some curls around about here, also going up and also coming up and down like so. Again, creating these big bunches, these big thick curls that come in. Some longer ones around here. Some bits that might just actually come off the other way on the right hand side. And again, it just gives you that idea. A lot of this is down on this side here. Lovely. Now, if we go over to Harley Quinn's eyes again, there's going to be just above this eye line a hood of some sort. It's going to just be up here and up here, like so. And then we get to draw in some eyebrows. If we go from the top edge of this eye line, just on the inside, we're going to just come down, and then we're just going to shoot straight up, like so, and off down to the side. She's obviously a crazy evil character with quite a menacing style. And then we can do the same here. We'll just go up, like so, and then just shoot off down the side, face, like that. And then what we're going to do is around the edges of the eyes, we're going to put in lots of thick eyelash area, really thicken out the eyes and make it very feminine. And it's going to be the same around the bottom. Going to have lots of eyelashes coming in. So just doing lots of zigzag shapes there. And then the same up on this side. Really thicken it out. Put some long eyelashes that come right off the edge there. And then we're going to have obviously more up the top, like so. And again more, but just come off around the bottom, just to really accentuate the feminine look of it. Then with the pupils, I'm going to draw an inside edge line probably to make them really pop out. And then we always like to draw a bit of reflection on there. So around about in the top right, I'm going to draw another circle that's going to be a dot of light. Same on this side. Towards the left a bit, I'm going to draw a smaller one in a very similar fashion. And then down on the bottom right as well, I'm just going to draw a shape. Just a little shape that cuts in. And again, these are all going to be light marks. Then I can just understand where the pupil's going to be in the middle, somewhere here. And somewhere here. And then once we actually get rid of all of these guidelines, it's going to create much more of a satisfying shape. But now we're going to use this middle zone down here, using the center of the eyes as a guide point. Down here and down here, we're going to put it in the mouth. Now, just under the nose, I'm going to just come in and map it like so. Great big crazy person smile. Then I'm going to just bring in a line underneath all of that, and that can be the teeth, like this. And then now we're just going to create this rough triangle shape right down towards the chin. And this is mostly actually going to be the tongue that sticks out. So we'll go like this, all the way down. Little heart shape for the tongue. You imagine it's got a little dimple in there that goes like that. And then we'll just bring the lips back up here, and then make sure that we've got some lip line at the top there. And then we can probably just put in some dimples on either side, something like that. So we'll get some just lines in there that follow the eye line up and down around. And then with the hair up here, it gets to be a little bit, but just kind of comes and shoots off with Harley Quinn on this side, like that. And then all the rest, you can start to just draw these lines that are just going to map the hair. So again, these are lines that just curve in, follow the way the hair would be going all the way around, so they're tucked into all of these bunches, like so. Then a couple zigzag spikes down there. With Harley Quinn's earrings and bits, you can just pop some rings there, one off the side, maybe a couple down here like this, and then perhaps a bit of bling on the bottom. Maybe another different not matching bit of jewellery on the right. She is absolutely crazy. And then this jawline we're just going to smooth out a bit, take it right down, keep that at a gentle point, like so. She also has a choker on that says pudding for some reason. I really don't understand why. I don't know that much about Harley Quinn. But we're just going to make a collar that goes round the neck, curves like that. And then pudding is P-U-D-D-I-N in it. So 1, 2, P-U-D-D-I-N. So there's going to be 6 spaces basically, but we're going to put letters in. So I'm just going to divide each half into 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 spaces, and then 1, 2, 3. So that I know with these spaces now, I'm going to roughly go P, U, D, D. I've left myself a thinner space for the I, and then a space for the N. We'll get to do that in a final pen line in just a moment. give this choker some thickness, like so. And then on the rest of the character, just a bit of a jacket line maybe. I think she wears like maybe an old sports jock jacket or something. Bit of a line in there to show some tailoring. And then a few lumps to show the folds. And then same down on this side. There'll be, maybe it folds up in here. Another line to show the edge of the jacket tailoring. And then comes down, get a few bumps, then just drops off to be the shoulder. Maybe the edge of a torn top that she wears just inside. And then some collarbones as well. And there you have it. What we will do is just ink this up, put in all the final lines, and when you take out the construction lines, the face is actually going to start to look much, much cuter. So I will see you guys in the end. And there you have it, everybody. A relatively simple picture of Harley Quinn. Now, what I'm going to do is drop things into colour when I scan it in. And I've shaded up the ends of the bangs. I've done this because this side is actually going to be a nice dark pink that goes into blonde. And this side is going to be a nice light blue that goes into blonde. Then maybe some blue eyes, a little bit of pink shade around this cheek and blue shade around this cheek. Oh, and in fact, whilst I'm here, let's also give her a cheeky little bit of a heart. Why not? Just round here. Excellent. Much better. Gives it much more character. Don't forget those cheeky tattoos and weird bits she's got all over herself throughout the film. Excellent stuff. Right, everybody. This bit will also be in gold. And the jacket, I think, is in red and blue as well. Thank you very much for watching this episode. Love having you guys along. Submit your artwork to me if you like on my Facebook page. But otherwise, click like, click subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time around. Goodbye.